Hi, so for this week's video, I decided that I'm going to make a bag. Well, I'd actually had something else planned, but I suddenly had the urge to make a bag. So I decided that's going to be this week's video, and then next week's video is going to be what I originally had. So let's get into it. Okay, so I forgot to say this, but I got this idea from, what I usually do is I rearrange my bags. Like, I'll go from using this bag this week to another bag another week. And I was like, I'd already made a black bag, which I will display on screen right now. But it's pretty big, and I wanted one that was small. One that, could really just fit stuff like the basic stuff in it, my wallet, my phone, my hand sanitizer, just stuff like that, into it. And I have this fabric from making my original bag, this furry black fabric, and I think it is enough for me to make a smaller version, especially like right here. Like, let's say you see, like, this is like just about as big as my hand right here, and like this right here. So I was thinking maybe like this, like just that big, just so I can have a small black bag to carry places. So yeah, it's gonna be very messy. I'm going to take this downstairs and then grab my sewing machine, and then I'll be able to tell you the measurements and stuff. If you ever want to recreate this bag, I'll be showing you how I make it. Okay, so I forgot to mention, I forgot to do the list of stuff you'll need. You'll need fabric if you want to make an inside. Like, for example, on the inside of this one, I have this fabric right here. If you want to make an inside, then you'll need whatever fabric you want. This is leftover from, I made a quilt like 2 years ago. So that's what this is leftover from. You'll need your original fabric for the outside. You'll need tape measure, thread, 2 threads if you are using a sewing machine, or, regular thread if you're just going to be sewing it yourself. You'll need these pins right here. And then, right here I'm using my phone to record, so my phone, and then my wallet, and then everything, my essentials, along with my AirPods, that you want to put in the bag, so you can know how big you need the bag to be to fit all of your essential stuff. So I'm going to measure, and then I'll come back. As for the measurements, so these are going to be the side panels. So basically this is going to be the bottom. Here is one side, and here is the other side. And these are, let me just get the tape measure right here just so I can make sure I can say it correctly. These are all around 5 inches going this way, and this way they are 9. They're 9 inches. So they're 5 by 9. And I did that because I really want the bag, when you sew it together, you're gonna lose a little bit of right here. So even though this is 5 inches right here, it's probably gonna end up being like these parts are gonna be sewed in, so you're not gonna be able to see it. As for the main panels of the bag, I did 9 by 12 when I really wanted 7 by, I believe, 10. So I did that again because some of this side right here is going to be sewed into the bag, so it's going to make the bag smaller. So you always want to actually factor in 2 inches above what you want the bag to be. So that's how, these are all my pieces right here. And then I'm going to set up the sewing machine and sew all this together. I'm going to sew this together first, and then I'm going to show you how to sew all this to this, and then that process is also going to be repeated in those measurements too when you get to sewing in the inside of the bag. So yeah, I'm gonna sew it all together and I'll come back. Okay, so all these pieces are sewed together. I should have mentioned that you're sewing from here and not here. So, but that's what I did. I sewed both these sides together. If you couldn't see, I messed up a little bit, but seeing as this will be folded in, I'm hoping it's not much of an issue. But next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew like this. going from these for the furry parts touching, I'm going to sew this side, both of the 9 inches together, and then this right here is going to get sewn here like that, and then this one is going to get sewn here like that, so it can make the bag shape. So again, this side is like this side is getting sewn like this, and this side is getting sewn like this. And it'll probably make more sense once it's sewed together, and I'll show you again. Okay, so I had actually ended up messing up the measurements. So the side pieces, these side panels, need to be 12 inches like the first panel. So I had to add a little extra on the side, and as you can see, this is like a little longer, but that's okay because this is also going to be folded in. But this is what we got so far. So when you sew each of the side panels to the middle panel, you get, you know, half a box. It's hard to show, but you can kind of see the purse coming together. It's going to be this little rectangular shape. Then all we have to do now is repeat the exact same thing and sew this on. And then you repeat that entire process to make the inside of the bag. And then after I sew this on and I repeat that process to make the inside of the bag, I'm going to show you how to put the inside of the bag in this, sew both pieces together. So I completely sewed the inside of my bag and I put it inside of my bag the right way. So, you know, this is the inside of this bag touching the inside of this the outside of this bag, so that the design is going to be seen in the bag. And so the first step is I'm going to sew. I pin them together. I put them inside and matched them up, and then I pin them together. I mean, the pins are kind of hidden because of this fabric, but I pin them together. The next thing I'm going to do, that's my dog trying to break into my room, is sew this. And then after I sew this with like this free edge, I'm going to flip it and then sew it like that. But I'm going to show you that. But first thing I'm going to do is sew this, each panel, not all at once, otherwise it's not going to probably retain the square shape that I have going on. I'm going to do this panel, and then you can see the seam lines, this panel, like a rectangle, one at a time. And then I'll come back and show you how to flip it. So I cut off any excess fabric that was sticking out from this one, and then the next thing you need to do to make a clean edge is, I can't really do this one-handed, but like fold it inward like this. You could fold it twice just so on the inside this doesn't show, like that. But I think I'm going to be putting a zipper onto this, which is not something I just came up with it, because I think I have a zipper that I was actually going to put on my other bag, but it wasn't long enough. But it definitely should be long enough for this bag. So I'm going to fold this over and sew it, and then I'm going to show you how to attach a zipper. So I pinned it just right here in the center of the square we got going on. And then next I'm going to, since it's a square shape, instead of just the two pieces together, this like free right here is just going to be open. If you can kind of see, like, this is where the rectangle is. So this is again hard with one hand, but basically what I'm going to do is, since this little triangle right here is going to be left open, I'm gonna pin it to the sides of this all the way down, and then when I sew it, I'm gonna sew it like this so I can see where this is, and sew it all the way down here. But I'll be able to explain it again once I've sewn it on, and I'll just show you, because I feel like that doesn't really make sense. Okay, so I think this better shows what I was talking about. So I've pinned it to the inside like this, and since it's a square, there's going to be a little bit kind of like this on the sides, but that's okay because that's how it usually is for most bags. So I pinned it, the zipper's right here, I pinned it to this side, and in the ending I pinned both of them over here. So then once I sew it, I'm going to be sewing from all the way down and then stopping once I reach this corner right here. So you can see right here, like this corner, I'm going to stop right here on all of them. And I'm not going to sew it to here besides the ends. And then this part of the back will be done. And then we'll have to go on to the handle, which I haven't shown because I haven't actually decided how I want to do it yet. I want to do it differently than the other bag because this fabric is very slippery. So what I found is it makes it hard to hold on to the bag. So I kind of want to figure out a different handle for this bag. So we'll get there when we get there. But now I'm just going to sew this zipper on and then we'll move on to that. So as for handles, I had some extra, I went to Michael's because I was making something to put in my car. So I have this knit, not necessarily felt, but this knit fabric that I think will be sturdy enough to be a handle. And I decided to do 2 because I have these pockets. Can't really see because my hands are like these pockets on the side of the zippers for them to fit into right here and right here. So I'm going to attach that by just hand sewing it on, and then the bag's gonna be finished and I will take a picture of it for you. So I just wanted to say that there's another way you can make a handle for a bag, and that's how I did with this one. I took an old belt that we weren't using anymore, measured it, and then made the fabric that I had a bit longer so that I could attach it to the bag. But I just covered the belt in the fabric, sewed it on, and then sewed it to the bag, and that's how I made the handle for this bag. But like I was saying, since the fabric itself is slippery, this is slippery, so I would recommend, if you were going to use the same fabric that I did, possibly get a different fabric for the belt to be covered in. And other than that, yeah, that's the way you can make another handle. But here are the bags side by side. The one on the left is the one I just made for this video, and the one on the right is the one I had previously made. I just wanted to show you in comparison what I was talking about. The other one being a bag, the one on the right being a bag that I could fit a bunch of stuff in, and the other one being where I can fit just more of the essentials, because I really just wanted a smaller version of that bag. So that's what this one is. And well, I hope this video was helpful. Like if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more of me. Here I'm just showing you the inside of the bag, and I actually have another bag inside of here. But like if you like the video, subscribe if you want to see more of me. I try to post every week, and bye!